Prince Harry is being accused of mansplaining, but when you slow it down, it looks more like he's guiding his wife through her first royal balcony appearance. No attitude, no condescension, just context. But here's where it gets interesting. Why is this normal moment being reframed as something negative? And why does that framing seem to always benefit Meghan? In this video, we're breaking down what this moment really reveals, from strategic victimhood to image control, rejection of mentorship, triangulation, and how Harry may have been positioned to be both her guide and her scapegoat. This isn't about one comment, it's a pattern, and it tells you a lot more than you think. But before we get into it, here's the intro. Welcome to Revealing the Narc. Join me as I highlight narcissistic traits in celebrities and public figures. Everything here is in my opinion and not professional advice. If you enjoy the analysis, please like and subscribe. The article I want to go through today was in the Daily Mail. It's titled, Prince Harry Mansplained Royal Life to Meghan, New Documentary Claims. This was just recently published, and it seems it's a continuation of other stories that have come out this week. The article begins, Prince Harry was caught mansplaining what a royal flypast is to Meghan Markle during their first Trooping the Color after getting married, as a lip reader detailed the awkward interaction in a new documentary. Really quick, I'm going to show you that part of the documentary. This is the lip reader, and this is the moment that they're talking about when they're on the balcony during Trooping the Color of 2018. The article continues, forensic lip readers analyze some of the most high-profile royal events in recent history, from Charles and Diana's wedding to Queen Elizabeth II's funeral, to uncover their secret conversations for Channel 5's program Lip Reading the Royals. One of the events they covered was Trooping the Color in 2018 after Prince Harry married the former Suits actress in St. George's Chapel at Windsor Castle. With the whole world watching Meghan's debut on the balcony of Buckingham Palace during trooping alongside senior members of the firm, it appeared Prince Harry may have been conscious of any criticism when he tried to explain the proceedings to his new bride. Lip reader Nicola Hickling said Harry was explaining to her what is going to happen and that Paras will be flying overhead, as he used hand motions to demonstrate what was about to happen before Meghan acknowledged him by saying okay. The lip readers have exposed him for mansplaining to her what a flypast is, said royal analyst Christo Fufas. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. Is this Harry being too dumb to realize that Meghan knows that planes are in the air, and as a member of the royal family, you probably have to look at a few? Or, he continued, is this Meghan playing dumb so Harry feels like he's in charge? He also quipped that won't last in a seeming reference to Meghan's growing influence within their marriage in the years since the Duke and Duchess of Sussex quit the royal family. Yeah, I believe you're wrong about that. Let's watch the video clip.
Okay. The lip readers have exposed him mansplaining to her what a fly past is. Is this Harry being too dumb to realise that Meghan knows that planes are in the air, and as a member of the royal family you probably have to look at a few? Or is this Meghan playing dumb so that Harry feels like he's in charge? That won't last.
Oh, I see what he meant by that won't last. He means Harry feeling like he's in charge won't last long. And yeah, that's true. That's for sure. The article goes on to mention that in an interview with Mail Online, royal expert Richard Fitzwilliam said that Harry hasn't yet found his own way since he and Meghan relocated to the US 5 years ago. Body language expert Judy James also highlighted how Meghan appears to take the lead during the couple's joint appearances, including their quasi-royal tour of Colombia last August that left Harry looking like the spare in his marriage. Yeah, it's not that Meghan appears to take the lead. She is taking the lead 100%. Let's talk about what mansplaining actually is and go through a couple of reasons why I don't think what Harry was doing was mansplaining. Mansplaining is when a man explains something to a woman in a condescending, patronizing, or dismissive way, typically assuming that she doesn't know what it is, even when she does, talking over her expertise, or offering the explanation to assert dominance or superiority. It's not simply a man explaining something to a woman. And these are the reasons why I don't believe that this definition fits what we saw on the screen. Context matters. This was Trooping the Color 2018. It was her first ever balcony appearance at an official royal event. Harry was born into this institution and had attended this exact ceremony for decades. A fly past is a traditional, precise, and ceremonial moment that not every newcomer would be familiar with, especially given the coordination involved. So Harry wasn't assuming she didn't know something that she should know. He was offering her situational context in real time to help her prepare. The second is I don't see any condescension or dismissiveness. According to the lip readers, Harry gestured and explained what was going to happen overhead. Meghan simply responded with okay. There was no sign of irritation, belittlement, or dismissive behavior from either of them. I don't think he was being patronizing, he was being helpful. And finally, she didn't express prior knowledge. For it to be mansplaining, Meghan would have needed to already know what he was saying, and Harry would have had to ignore or override that. But there's no evidence she indicated she already knew or was annoyed at what was being told to her. He wasn't correcting her, dismissing her, or assuming superiority. He was sharing useful information, likely under pressure with the cameras rolling. This isn't mansplaining, it's a husband helping his wife navigate a complex formal setting, and also could be viewed as a seasoned royal offering guidance to someone who is new to the institution. But here's where it gets more interesting. What if this moment wasn't really about Harry being condescending, but about preserving Meghan's image? Let's flip the lens. Calling this mansplaining protects Meghan's image, not her dignity. It covers her inexperience. If Harry explained the fly past, it shows Meghan was new and needed help. Calling it mansplaining flips that. Now she's not uninformed, she's being patronized. Secondly, it protects the brand. Meghan's image relies on being polished, in control, and unshakable. Taking guidance on a royal balcony doesn't fit, but calling it mansplaining does. It turns victimhood into power. She isn't just learning, she's being wronged. That repositions her as superior and not subordinate. And in all of this, Harry becomes the scapegoat. Whether he helps or stays quiet, he's framed as clueless, controlling, or both. So she doesn't have to be seen as needing anyone else. And then that royal commentator said, is Meghan playing dumb so Harry feels like he is in charge? And this is an example of us seeing that the script is being flipped. Instead of Harry being dismissive, this suggests that Meghan let him take the lead strategically. That means she was managing perception, she was in control of how Harry appeared, and she was aware the cameras were rolling. This is a manipulation tactic. It keeps her looking gracious while subtly pulling the strings. And actually, this sounds a lot like something that might be in the book, The Rules, which is a book that allegedly Meghan is very interested in and has taken a lot of tips from. We're actually doing a book club covering this book in my members chat, and then I clip it out and post it on my regular YouTube. So far, we've covered chapter 2, and I'm aiming to cover a chapter a week. So if that sounds interesting to you, looking into what these rules are and how they could be manipulative and how Meghan has potentially applied these in her romantic relationships, go check out that video. There's actually a playlist for it. And I just want to say I already have an idea for the next book. So reframing all of this as mansplaining does help her image because she comes off as underestimated, self-sufficient, and smarter than she lets on. But what if this moment, like so many others, is the result of a carefully curated dynamic, one where Meghan ensures she's the only one in control of how information is received, framed, and perceived? Because when you look back at the early days of their royal life, one thing becomes clear. Meghan didn't want mentorship, she wanted control. Reading all of this reminded me of how the Queen had offered for Duchess Sophie to serve as Meghan's mentor. So let's look through this article. It's titled The Telling Reason Why Meghan Markle Snubbed Sophie's Gracious Offer to Show Her the Royal Ropes, despite the Queen thinking she had a lot to learn from her. The article says, although it technically only takes marrying an existing member to join the royal family, the skills needed to truly belong take years to learn. Along with hundreds of etiquette rules, they are expected to pick up how to run an army of staff and navigate dozens of high-profile events each month. So when Meghan joined the firm in May 2018, the Queen knew she would need help transitioning from the life of Hollywood showbiz to the traditional world that the royals live in. For that reason, when Meghan went on her first royal engagement a month after her marriage to Harry, the late sovereign graciously decided she would give a personal masterclass. Their trip was a roaring success, and the pair were pictured happily giggling together despite Meghan seemingly making a royal faux pas. But the Queen obviously felt Meghan needed help from someone closer to her in age and experience. After all, the Queen had been born into the position and prepared all her life for the duties. Let's pause here. So you can see that the Queen was supportive of Meghan, and the Queen put a lot of thought into this. She was considerate and was trying to set up Meghan for success. The article continues. So, who did she think would be suitable for such an important task? Enter Duchess Sophie. It was thought the wife of the Queen's youngest son, Prince Edward, would be perfect for the role. A royal expert told the Daily Mail show Palace Confidential in 2022 the Queen wanted Meghan to make a success of the marriage and of her new role, and indeed did everything that she could to encourage that. I think she suggested to her that Sophie, who certainly was a favorite with her and had been through it because she had married into the royal family and married Prince Edward, might help her be a sort of mentor. On paper, the pair looked like a perfect match. They didn't come from the typical aristocratic sets that had been close to the royal family for generations. Instead, coming from aspirational upper middle class families who sent them to private schools to give them a leg up in life. But the relationship between the two never took off for one simple reason. Meghan didn't think she needed any help. In her eyes, all she needed was Harry for advice. It seems Meghan came into the royal family with the certainty of a self-made woman who believed she knew better than the institution. Some of Meghan's former staff told royal author Tom Quinn of the awkwardness and hilarity of early meetings at Kensington Palace soon after she joined the firm. And man, this is comedy. One said it was extraordinary because she was so confident that you could see she wanted to run the meeting rather than learn about the royal family through the meeting. She was a great believer in grabbing the bull by the horns, except the royal family is not really a bull. Another added, Meghan thought she knew better than an institution that has been in business for more than 1,000 years. What we're seeing here is a narcissistic behavioral pattern. We're seeing strategic control and isolation. The moment on the balcony and the rejection of a mentor says more than it seems. Rejecting mentorship is rejecting accountability. Narcissists don't just dislike guidance, they fear accountability. A mentor like Sophie, who is seasoned, respected, and loyal to the institution, would have been a neutralizer, someone who could offer grounded advice, someone who could challenge or redirect behavior privately, someone Meghan couldn't easily manipulate or override. Rejecting Sophie means rejecting that external frame of reference because narcissists want to be the only expert in the room. The second thing is that she said, I have Harry. By insisting that Harry alone would guide her, Meghan created a dynamic where Harry becomes the sole translator of royal norms. She controls the narrative of what she's told and how she's treated. There's no third-party witness to hold her accountable for missteps or exaggerations. This keeps Harry in a dependent, central role while isolating him from institutional loyalty. Narcissists prefer control over competence. True mentorship encourages growth, humility, and adaptation, none of which align with a narcissistic need to appear already perfect. Narcissists want praise, not instruction, followers and not advisors, control and not collaboration. By rejecting Queen Elizabeth's offer to have Sophie Wessex mentor her, Meghan didn't just dodge outside guidance. She strategically narrowed her circle of influence. Harry became the sole bridge between Meghan and the institution. And while that might look like closeness, in narcissistic dynamics, it often signals isolation masquerading as intimacy. And here's what it would look like. Instead of learning from a seasoned insider, Meghan relied entirely on Harry, and that dynamic allowed her to control the narrative, create emotional dependence, and keep Harry busy, buffering her from institutional reality.
I've never looked up my husband online. I just didn't feel a need to because everything that I needed to know he was sharing with me, right? Everything that we thought I needed to know he was telling me. Everything that we thought I needed to know he was telling me.
Meghan cut out royal support, so Harry became her only guide. He was her filter, protector, and public interpreter. On the balcony, we literally see this dynamic. He explains and she listens. But now afterwards, people are looking back and he is being punished for the role. Ultimately, this isolates the narcissist from outside criticism, but also isolates the partner from the truth. In narcissistic relationships, isolation from other sources of influence is a feature and not a bug. Harry wasn't overstepping. He was doing exactly what she positioned him to do. And now he's being called the scapegoat for the system that she designed. I want to know what you think. Was Harry really mansplaining, or was he just doing what Meghan wanted him to do? Guide, protect, and explain until it no longer served the image. Because when support is reframed as offense, when leadership gets spun as control, and when the person trying to help ends up the villain, that's not equality, that's image management. In the end, Harry didn't break a rule, he broke the illusion. I want to end this video by asking you all a question. Have you ever tried to help someone and ended up paying the price for it? If you feel comfortable sharing, please drop it in the comments. If this was interesting to you, please like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you'll know every time I drop a new video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video and you're looking for a meaningful way to support something beyond the screen, I'd love for you to consider making a donation to the National Domestic Violence Hotline in lieu of super chats and super stickers. They provide 24/7 support and resources for people in unsafe or overwhelming situations, whether that's emotional, physical, or just hard to name. Their information is on the screen should you need to contact them, and you'll find the link to donate in the description of this video. Every little bit helps, and it means a lot. Thank you again for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye, everybody.